Welcome back to the Resistance Revolutionary Party. I'm your host, Gregory Duncan. Back in June of 2024, I had made what I thought was going to be my last Resistance Revolutionary Party video. But thanks to this country, that wasn't to be. This next video is entitled, How the U.S. Constitution and the 14th Amendment, Section 3 were ignored and betrayed by U.S. government officials in the Republican and Democratic parties. Now I'm looking over here in this direction because I'm reading and I want to make sure I say everything that I want to. Donald Trump was defeated by Joe Biden in the 2020 presidential election. And Trump had been saying for a while that the election would be rigged, which he was actively trying to do for months. He had his lawyers file over 60 frivolous lawsuits, but were all thrown out of court due to no evidence. In spite of the lawsuits being denied, he continued to insist that the election had been stolen. He continued with his lies, and he, on December 20th, 2020, summoned his supporters to come to Washington, D.C. on January 6, 2021. Big protest, he said, in D.C. on January 6th. Be there. We'll be wild. And on January 6, 2021, Trump gave a speech at the Ellipse where he encouraged his supporters to go down to the U.S. Capitol. We will fight, we will never give up, and we will never concede, he said. Following Trump's orders, the crowd went down to the U.S. Capitol to prevent the Vice President and Congress from carrying out the election, from certifying the election results. The mob began to break through the barriers and mercilessly attack the Capitol Police. They brutally punched, kicked, and used any objects they could to find against the police. They then illegally entered the U.S. Capitol and began hunting down Vice President Mike Pence and House Speaker Nancy Pelosi. This attack, which was seen by Trump on television, went on for hours, and the President of the United States did nothing. Trump incited an insurrection and set back and allowed a rebellion against the state to take place. On that day, January 6, 2021, President Donald John Trump violated his oath and the 14th Amendment, Section 3. He was no longer legally eligible to hold the office of President of the United States. His actions on that day caused him to be disqualified from ever holding any U.S. government office again, which included the presidency. Once the domestic terrorists were told by Trump that he loved them and for them to go home, they began to follow his orders again, as they did previously, when he asked them to come to D.C. and when he told them to march down to the Capitol. Following the insurrection, several members in Congress refused to certify the 2020 presidential election results. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi soon filed articles of impeachment against Donald Trump. Now, these are the following actions that should have taken place after the certification of the 2020 presidential election. As of January 6, 2021, Vice President Mike Pence, President-elect Joe Biden, Vice President-elect Kamala Harris, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell, Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer should have announced to the nation and the world before the impeachment trial began that Donald Trump is no longer legally President of the United States. And following that announcement, Vice President Mike Pence should have invoked the 25th Amendment and removed Trump from office. And then Vice President Mike Pence should have been sworn in by the Supreme Court Justice John Roberts as the 46th President of the United States. However, though the impeachment took place, there was no announcement or removal regarding Donald Trump. On January 13th, 2021, 197 members in the House voted not to impeach Donald Trump, violating their oath and the 14th Amendment, Section 3, giving aid and comfort to Donald Trump, the insurrectionist. On February 13th, 2021, 43 members in the Senate voted not to convict Donald Trump, violating their oath and the 14th Amendment, Section 3, giving aid and comfort to Donald Trump, the insurrectionist. What should have happened following the impeachment, if Vice President Pence refused to invoke the 25th Amendment, he would be in violation of his oath and the 14th Amendment, Section 3, thus giving aid and comfort to Donald Trump, resulting in Mike Pence's removal from his office. Therefore, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi would be temporarily sworn in as the 46th President of the United States until President-elect Joe Biden could be sworn in on January 20th, 2021. Now, a few years later after that, on July 1st, 2024, 6 Supreme Court justices, if you want to call them that, gave aid and comfort to Donald Trump by allowing him to believe he was immune from prosecution. On July 15th, 2024, Judge Eileen Cannon gave aid and comfort to Trump by dismissing his federal espionage case. On several occasions, Judge Juan Merchan postponed Trump's sentencing after he was found guilty on 34 counts, giving him aid and comfort, violating his oath and the 14th Amendment. Both Attorney General Merrick Garland and Special Counsel Jack Smith gave aid and comfort to Donald Trump. Garland allowed almost 2 years to go by before he appointed Jack Smith as special counsel to investigate Donald Trump's interference in the certifying of the 2020 presidential election, until it was revealed that Trump had also stolen thousands of classified documents. When Trump, who has been disqualified from holding a government office, was announced as the winner of the 2024 presidential election, Smith claimed that due to a long-standing policy in the Justice Department of not prosecuting a sitting president, he and the United States government would not continue the prosecution of Donald Trump. However, the policy, or I should say that policy, is not constitutional, nor is it a law. So if it would be applied to Donald Trump, because it can't be applied to Donald Trump, that is, because Donald Trump is not a legal, he is ineligible and disqualified from ever holding the office of President of the United States. Donald Trump winning an election he is not legally eligible to participate in makes him still disqualified from being sworn in on January 20th, 2025. It is now up to the current president, Joe Biden, to address the nation and the world and obey his oath and the United States Constitution that Donald Trump is disqualified from holding the office of President of the United States due to his actions on January 6, 2021, or be another government official to pick and choose which laws in the United States Constitution he will support, protect, and defend. And clearly the 14th Amendment, Section 3, is not one of them. Well, that's all I have to say. And I would like to thank you for listening, and remember to like, share, and subscribe, and leave a comment down the bottom. And hopefully the person who will be sworn in will not be on January 20th, 2025, will not be Donald Trump, because he is disqualified from holding the office. Well, until the next Resistance Revolutionary Party video, have a good day.